Hey guys, it's your boy MKS here again. I woke up today with too many thoughts in my mind, so for once I'm actually up early, so that was good. I didn't manage to plan out quite as much as I'd like in my head, like think of my lists and plans and goals and timelines that I've talked before about. But anywho, I was overthinking, and I decided to make a video about why I decided to make my own channel, as I was thinking about. And the title of this video was supposed to be why I decided to make my own channel. I know I've covered this before, here I go again. And then I was going to say, I also wanted to answer some questions that someone asked, or a few people, like someone I went to college with or school with, and also someone on YouTube who goes by the name John Bobbitt. I wanted to answer some of the questions they've asked and get my point of view across. But anyway, I couldn't fit the whole title because I wanted it to be too long a title. But anyway, the reason why I wanted, trying to get to the point, the reason why I wanted to set my own YouTube channel, and again, I know I've covered this before, but for any new viewers or anyone who stumbles across this video, is number one, because excuse me, number one, because I wish to be financially independent. So I've been unemployed for a long time, so I didn't want to, in the future, I don't want to rely on state aid or benefits. People watching overseas, they might not know what that is, but it's when the government gives you money. I know you get it a little bit in America and you get it here in the UK, but I thought it'd be good to be as independent as possible, and possibly, so that I don't force other people to pay taxes. As a libertarian, I don't really like to force people to do things they don't want to do. So that's one reason. The other thing is, secondly, I don't want to be honest, I probably shouldn't admit this, but I don't really want a 9-to-5 or a traditional job, and that's another reason why I want to. Another reason why I wanted to create my own channel, so that I could find an alternative way to earn a living. And I probably should have said this for the third reason, actually. Sorry, what I included as a first reason, I probably should have said as the third reason. I wasn't thinking of doing this in list form, but I think that's the easier way to mention this thing. But anyway, I should have said for point 3 that I don't want the taxpayers to be forced to pay taxes towards my benefits. But anyway, sorry. So the third thing is I'm not really hard working enough to run my own business or something like that, and I don't really want to do a 9-to-5. So it's like my choices are quite limited. To really, I can't think of anything else that I really want to do that I'm hardworking enough to do or driven enough to do. I should be careful what I say, because I think some people might watch and think, this guy's lazy, or he doesn't want to work, and he doesn't want a 9-to-5, which may or may not be true, but the latter one is certainly true. But so I should be careful what I say, I suppose, but I'm just being as honest as possible, and which I normally talk about, trying to be as honest as possible. So I know I've covered this before, but I thought I'd update it for any new viewers, subscribers, or whatever, in case obviously they don't watch all my videos. If you can watch as many as possible, I really appreciate it. But I think that covers the first part of this, of why I chose to make my YouTube channel. But yeah, to become as independent as possible. Oh yeah, and then another thing is, I will say point 4 is to be an inspiration for others. Like, I have learning disabilities, but I can go out and just set up my own Google account, and then and just get a live camera and just talk about my thoughts. And so people with dyslexia or ADHD or dyspraxia or other conditions, autism or whatever, could just give it a go as well. So hopefully it'll be inspiration to others. And now I'm thinking a few other things as well, actually, that come to mind. So number 5 would be, if I manage to monetize in the future, as well as becoming independent myself and financially independent, possibly coming out of my shell a bit as a recluse. I also love the irony of making a YouTube channel. That should probably be point 6. But anyway, I can help other people, perhaps, if I make enough money, share ideas that hopefully will help other people. Like now I'm covering transport people in Asia. So again, if I do make enough money, I can donate to those sort of charities, and also I can talk about ideas what other people might not have thought of, and they might think, yeah, I would love to help people in slums and orphanages and mentor for people and things like that. So they might also have those ideas. And I think that covers all the reasons why. Well, one of my bags was just falling. I was wondering what that noise was. I think that covers the reason why I made a YouTube channel. Yeah, so to become independent, not the taxpayer's not forced to give me money or whatever. So I can earn my own money, and then maybe it can help me with other skills and like to share some of my goals. Like for instance, perhaps living independently for one day soon, or ASAP, and how I'd love to live alone, but I do have a lot of problems with my learning disabilities and stuff like that. I don't want to make excuses. And also, I love to watch YouTube videos, so I thought it would be great to make me, and also to express myself. I suppose that's another reason. So yeah, I think that covers the first part of the video about reasons why I chose to make a YouTube video. Love to have any of your questions, but I also wanted to answer about 3 questions I was asked. And a friend who I used to go to school with, I don't know if I should mention his name, but he always lectured about. I think in the end I told him, "You're hassling me on Facebook," because he kept asking me questions. So in the end he said, "I'll delete you if I'm hassling." So I said, "Okay, fair enough." Because he always was negative whenever I came up with an idea or a plan. He was always telling me why it shouldn't work or whatever. So after a while, I just got annoyed a bit. So a few times I've deleted him and then I felt a bit bad and then added him or whatever, or vice versa. And sorry, I just forgot my chain of thought. But yeah, so once he said about he asked me as well as John Bobbitt, are all your videos list videos? And what I wanted to do was get which would be quite an irony, I suppose, but get the links of all the videos that are not list form and not in list form, which I love the irony of a list of my videos that are not in list form, and share those. But I know he often complains when I share links, a lot of links, or apparently I'm the only person who takes a whole search result and copies that link. But I like being unique, you know. So I didn't really realize I was the only person who does that. But yeah, so I love to share the videos that like a link of all my videos that are not in list form if I could, just to show that they're not on list form. So I hope that answers that question. Kind of. But yeah, I thought if I shared the link of that, he'd probably complain and say, "Oh, why do you share these links?" or why or whatever. But I'd say I'm answering your question. And the second one is John Bobbitt, and I think probably Ranji. Probably shouldn't have said his name, but I won't say his name. Said, "No, does any other channel cover lists?" And what I wanted to do was take all the not all, but take as many, take a list of, or a link rather, of YouTube channels that do things in list form. Like I think there's top 15s, and there's many reaction channels and scary and videos that do stuff about scary videos. Because sometimes for entertainment, I like to watch scary videos, and a lot of them do things about lists of scary videos. Many channels do things about lists of facts, things like that. So I'm sure there's lots of channels that do lists of facts. I'd love for you to link any on that point. Channels you can think of that do things in list form. Another thing, a while back, third thing I was going to say is, a while back, I talked about how I still live at home, but like my mum drives me crazy, and I drive her crazy, I'm sure. Which I got to admit, in her defence, I'm probably a nightmare to live with. I'll be honest. And but yeah, I mean, families do have these sorts of problems where they get in each other's way or they argue or whatever. But not that we argue every day. But anyway, so I said my mum drives me crazy, and my friend, again, the one I mentioned earlier, said that, well, why don't you go and move out and live by yourself? And I said, oh, do you realise that does cost money? Are you going to pay for it? Or something like that, I think I said a while back. And he said, I would never trade. He said, oh, wouldn't you trade something about, would you rather have the freedom or the money or something like that? And he said, wouldn't you give up some money for freedom, I think it was. And I said, oh, I'm not sure. He said, oh, I would never give up money for freedom. But I was thinking, I'm sorry if this video is a bit long, so thanks if you stayed this far, but I was thinking, again, I'd love to have your answer on any of these points, or what your thoughts are, any questions or anything like that, comments and all that. Or again, if you could share any links about videos that have links, that have lists or things like that. Again, or whatever you think about this video. But he was saying about I would never trade my freedom for money. But I was thinking that a 9 to 5, in my opinion, for most people, especially people or anyone who does a job where they don't really enjoy it or where they're not looking forward to work. So if you work in an area where you've always wanted to do that since you were young, and you've managed to do that and fulfill your dream, like a footballer or a singer or something like that. But even those, if they don't really enjoy their job, or they fall out of love with their job, or their career or whatever, or they have a bad day at the office, I think any job really, or any career, at least on some occasions, if not for many people on many occasions, is trading. I feel every 9 to 5 or every job or most careers are trading two things for money. One is your freedom, and the second one is your time. Not necessarily in order, but so again, especially if someone says, I really need to pay my bills, which is fair enough, it's understandable, I understand why you do that. But if they said, I really need to pay my bills and I'm going to work for a company doing painting and decorating, I don't imagine many people when they're about 6 or 7 have a dream to become a painter or decorator. But understandably, obviously, they have to pay their bills. So for me personally, pretty much every job, or for most people, like at least about 3/4 of people, I would imagine, their job is trading them freedom and time for money, which is fine. I mean, I'm not saying that's wrong or right, or that's what they should or shouldn't do. In fact, if you need to pay the bills, I think it is commendable, and I wouldn't look down on anyone for doing what they need to do for a career, because obviously, one, it's their choice, so who am I to tell them? And two, I'm probably not in a position to do so because I've been unemployed for so long and all this sort of thing. So I admire anyone who does their job to provide for themselves or their family or whatever, and does what they need to do. So anyway, I'd love to know what you think about this video. Sorry if it's a bit long and I waffled a bit, and I hope I covered the points well. As ever, I'd love to know what you think. Peace and love.